Welcome back. Many medical experts are pushing back against President Trump's unproven claims that during pregnancy, the active ingredient in Tylenol, acetaminophen, can be associated with an increased risk of autism in babies. He is warning pregnant women not to take Tylenol. Kennedy Krieger, which of course provides patient care and research for children, also has a Center for Autism Services. And right now we're joined by neurodevelopmental scientist Dr. Benjamin Schindel from Kennedy Krieger. Thank you for joining us, Doctor. Do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to come and speak with you tonight.
Absolutely. All right, so let's very simply say, what does the science, the research say about acetaminophen? Is there a link to autism, and should pregnant women who are watching us right now be concerned about taking medications with acetaminophen?
Sure. So I'll start with that first question about the research and the link between acetaminophen and autism or neurodevelopmental disabilities in the children. The short answer is that there is not strong evidence. And in fact, I think that there's stronger evidence supporting that acetaminophen does not cause autism. But the sort of complicating factor here is that there are a few studies, one really that suggested that there was an association. And the thing about that study, so this is back from 2021, it was what's called a consensus statement. It was based on a review of 29 different studies. And what the authors did is they took all those studies, they looked at the results, they put them together. And it's a little bit like trying to cook a meal using 29 different recipes. The results that we got were not really very strong, and there are a lot of holes in that evidence. So, for example, some of those studies didn't define autism the same way. They didn't look at other factors that we know are associated with autism, like genetic factors, other medications that the mothers may have been taking. So that's the one that I've been sort of hearing the most about, that people are saying supports autism or supports this connection. There's really been quite a bit of research following that, and even before that refutes that. And in fact, there is a really wonderful article from 2024 that looked at this enormous data source. This was actually about 10 times the sample that was used in the collection of those 29 studies from the other one. And what they found was that at first there seemed to be a very small association between taking Tylenol or acetaminophen and the child having autism. And then when they looked a little bit closer and looked at some of the other factors, it actually looks like that association disappeared. It really seemed to be due much more to the genetic factors that are, again, supporting that being probably the primary thing that leads to autism.
So very simply, if I'm a pregnant woman out there right now, and it's very scary, you want to take care of your baby, how do I make a decision whether to take acetaminophen?
Yeah, I think that the best advice is to talk to your physician and somebody who knows you personally and knows your personal medical history and the other medications that you're taking. If the concern is about causing autism in the child, I don't think that's a reason to avoid taking Tylenol. It's a wonderful medication for fevers, for pain, and if these aren't being addressed by Tylenol, if they're still persisting, that's a reason to see the doctor. You don't want to go overboard with it the way you don't want to at baseline. But pregnancy is, so I'm told, pregnancy is hard, and body goes through a lot of changes, and having having a medication that's safe, I think is appropriate.
All right. Good advice. Very interesting research. Thank you, Dr. Schindel. Derek.
All right.